What's up, Chromies? Great to be back with you. Today, we have got a lot to talk about. This is the start of the 2024 ISTE conference, and traditionally, Google has used the ISTE conference to announce its updates and new features ahead of the coming school year. So today, you're going to get a sneak peek at some new features for Google Classroom, Google Drive, Chromebooks, and Gemini that should be available, most of them, before the start of the 2024-2025 school year. So lots of exciting stuff ahead. Hope you've subscribed to the show. You can connect with me all over the internet on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. And also want to give a shout out and thanks to sponsor for this episode, Visor for Chromebooks. They are a longtime supporter of the show. If you are managing Chromebooks, you need Visor. It'll seamlessly connect the Google Admin Console and your student information system, giving you one easy place to manage all your devices, track loaners, repairs, and all kinds of things. So thank you, Visor, for supporting the show. Check them out and support them. All right, well, let's get after it. Lots to talk about. What is new with Google? The first thing that we need to talk about is something called Read Along. Now, I don't know if you have heard of Read Along. This is not a new app. It's been around since I think 2017. It was launched somewhere in there, 17, 18. It was very popular in India. It's a Google product, and was designed to help students learn to read. And over the years, Google has continued to develop it. It started as an Android app, and it is now available for both Android and the browser, Chrome OS, or whatever browser you're using. And it continues to help students read. But Google has added some interesting AI features, and it is announcing that it is going to integrate Read Along into Google Classroom. We'll get into that in just a minute, but first, let's take a quick sneak peek at how Read Along works. Google provided this video. I'll narrate for those of you who are listening only. And
Bill soaks the.
To get reading help, tap the word.
So we've got a
Checks.
young student, probably
Checks
6 years old,
the
5, 6.
Ed
And on the screen, we've got a storybook, got
Read
pictures,
this out
and
loud.
some wording.
Shed.
And there's a little
Shed.
character who is assisting
Beth.
the student in reading.
Beth is on aunt
Not
not
there.
there.
Well
And
done.
once you
You
finish
got
a
that.
page, you collect stars. She's just about
Beth.
done with this book.
Uh,
And click on a word to get help. Just going to click on it.
are
Where?
you? Where are you?
Nice.
So that is a sneak peek of Read Along. It's available today. It's been available for a long time on Android and Chrome, like I said. But the big announcement is that
Yeah.
Google is integrating this app into Google Classroom. Now, this is going to be a premium feature. You will need the Education Plus or Teaching and Learning editions in order to access this feature. But it will feature a large library of books, leveled books. So you can, through Google Classroom, filter by Lexile score, grade level, interest, to find a book that's appropriate for the student. And then they'll get reading support as they go. I've personally played with this a little bit. I have a young reader, a 7-year-old, who's still developing reading skills, and we will absolutely be using this. It looks super slick. Teachers will receive some additional metrics on how students are performing. So you'll be able to see class averages as well as individual student assignments. This is all built again into the Google Classroom dashboard. And then this feature was particularly interesting. They're also utilizing AI to automatically generate stories based on words that students are struggling with, which is cool. I know that my son, there are a few sight words that he definitely needs to practice, and I'd be very interested in creating stories for him that would allow him to practice those words. This feature here is not currently available. It's an early preview. Read Aloud is available right now. I checked just today and I have it. So you can begin playing with this, looking at this. This is a really needed update for Google Classroom. A lot of the more recent features to Classroom have been for the upper grades, middle and high school. But this is going to give elementary teachers some great new tools to help support their students and their readers in the class this year. So this is ready to go. You can try it out right now and consider how you might want to implement this into your classroom for this coming year. So super cool. That's exciting. Let's get into some more Google Classroom updates. Read Aloud is a big one. There was a lot of different features and capabilities, both existing and coming. So Google talked a lot about that. But there are some additional Google Classroom updates aside from Read Along itself. So here's a quick overview, and then we'll get into some details. We've got some new add-ons. That was announced a while ago, but those add-ons are available now. Grading periods, there's been some updates to that. AI-generated YouTube questions, that's a cool one. The YouTube questions have been there for a while, but now we can use AI to actually create the questions. Updated Guardian summaries, finally. Can't wait to talk about that one with you. Some additional grading options that will allow you to batch grade as well as mark an assignment as missing. Image support for practice sets. We talked about the read along integration and student groups. That was announced a while ago, but will be available in the coming weeks. That's a summary of everything. Let's dive into a couple of these and look at some more details, especially the new releases. AI-generated YouTube questions. This one is live. It is working right now. Again, I was just playing with this the other day. So this is super cool. So all you do is you create your YouTube assignment like you may have done in the past. And when you put your video in there, if you click on the Add Question button, it automatically will suggest questions for you. You don't even really have to do anything. It gives you a whole list of them, and then you can pick the questions that you might want to utilize for your assignment. Super helpful. I mean, this is if you're using something like Magic School, School AI, there's a bunch of them. You don't have to. It's built right in. Now, this is a premium feature. The YouTube questions is. So you will need, again, the Teaching and Learning or Education Plus upgrade in order to access this particular feature. All right, let's see what's next on my list. Guardian summaries. Awesome. I've been pretty critical of Guardian summaries for a while. And this is the feature in Google Classroom. When you look at your student roster in Classroom, there's a little link that says invite guardians. You put a parent email address in there, and then they get progress reports. The good news is you don't have to do anything. It just automatically sends those out. It works very well. The bad news is the detail was really lacking. Parents really just see the assignment or the description of the assignment and the due date. They can't actually see the student's work or anything like that. This new update allows the teacher, this is teacher's discretion, to share a student's classwork page with the parent. So not only are they getting the email update, but they can actually look at Google Classroom to see all of the work, the assignment, the details, and then the student's work to provide support. Parental support is absolutely essential for student success, and hopefully this will encourage parents to take a more active role in their students' learning. This is an advanced feature, so it will require the Education Plus edition. and should be coming here this summer. So you'll be able to look at it and decide if you want to use this. Again, this is teacher discretion. So if you don't want to use this, if you don't want parents looking at the classwork page, you don't have to. Parents cannot see the work of other students. They don't see comments, class discussions, anything like that. Only the work individually completed by their student. Guardian's summaries desperately needed an update, so this will get us a little bit closer. On the more technical side, this is a pretty big announcement. Google is announcing support for one roster supported student information systems, which includes PowerSchool. This has been a gaping hole in Google's integrations with other tools. PowerSchool is the most popular gradebook and SAS system in the United States. And so, it's very awkward not to have it included. It's not really a technical issue. It's more of a big business decision. PowerSchool purchased Schoology, and that's a competitor to Google Classroom. So I'm actually shocked by this. I didn't think that PowerSchool would ever integrate into Google Classroom or the admin console at all. So good deal for them for working it out. They also have already had support for Infinite Campus, Aspen, and Skyward. That's been standard for a while now. And if you use a gradebook that's not listed, you can integrate it via Clever. That's been an existing integration as well. This does require the Education Plus upgrade. It's a lot of data connections, and your IT admin, your IT department will need to set this up. This is not something that you could do on your own. All right, a lot of teachers are going to be very happy with this. We have some additional grading controls, which includes bulk grading. And I've struggled with this as well. So if you've got a list of 20, 30 students, you have to manually type in, 5 of 5 for all 30 of them. So this will allow you to just fill in quickly all empty rows. Just give everybody a 5, and then you can go back and change a few if necessary. So that will speed things up. That update will be available for anyone, regardless of which workspace edition you are using. The other option, which I never really thought about this, but it really was needed, is they're calling it a missing state update. So if a student does not turn in an assignment, previously or up to now, really your only option was to just leave it blank or to put a 0 in there. They are adding a missing option. So it kind of puts it in its own separate category. Hopefully that will integrate with the Guardian summaries to notify parents, hey, this is your missing assignments. Certainly better than adding a 0, which would just, crater somebody's grade. Leaving it blank is kind of like, did you not see it? Was it not turned in? What's the status? So you'll be able to create a missing function, which is great. And then the final option is the ability to view a student's work by grading period. Now, grading period is a premium feature, so that update will require Teaching, Learning, or Education Plus. So a couple cool things in there, definitely much needed. All right, this one has been announced previously. I think this is the last classroom update. Student groups, persistent student groups. This has been a huge pain. You have the ability to send an assignment to a group of students, but those groups aren't saved. So every single time you create an assignment, you have to manually curate those groups. This will allow the teacher to create a persistent student group that you'll be able to utilize throughout the duration of your class. This was announced a while ago, but has not been released yet, supposedly coming in the coming weeks, so certainly in time for the next school year. And I'm a little disappointed, but this one is only going to be available for, again, the premium tiers, Education Plus, or Teaching and Learning. I feel like this one might be something that they could have given to everybody. If it were up to me, that's what I would have done. excited to see that. I know for my courses, I run like the Google Certification Academy and a bunch of online courses, Admin Bootcamp, Chromebook Academy. Groups would be awesome. I just finished doing my first Trainer Academy, where I work with teachers who are desiring to become Google certified trainers. And we did a lot of group work. So this would have been a very useful, very helpful feature. All right, let's move on from Google Classroom to a new topic. We're going to talk about Google Drive updates. Just a couple, nothing too crazy. A couple updates on some things that we knew about. First up, e-signatures has been officially launched. I actually just utilized this feature this weekend. So I had a Google document, and I was able to add a signature line to that document and send it to someone, and they can electronically sign that. No need for HelloSign or e-sign, DocuSign, one of those features. Now, again, a lot of people are going to be annoyed that many of these features are attached to the premium account. And look, if I wish it was all free. If it could all be free, we'd all love it. AI is very expensive, and a lot of these features include AI enhancements. So Google has to attempt to recoup some of that cost. Honestly, Education Plus is a pretty good deal. Education Plus is $5 per student per year. Not a month, $5 per student per year. With every, I'm going to mess up the ratio. I think you get one teacher license for every 15 student licenses. Most schools get more teacher licenses than they need. So, I mean, sure, it's going to cost you a few $1,000s, but potentially could eliminate some other subscriptions that you have. For example, if you are paying for an e-signature solution, now you don't have to. If you're paying for a premium ChatGPT, you don't have to. If you're paying for something like Edpuzzle, well, you get YouTube interactive questions videos. Now, am I saying that Edpuzzle is the equivalent to YouTube videos? No, Edpuzzle is definitely more advanced. You'll have to make that tough call, but definitely consider the cost of the upgrade. It may not be as steep as you think. You know, if you're paying for Zoom, you can eliminate Zoom and utilize Google Meet. There is some cost savings that potentially could be available. All right, let's take a look at a couple of these other things. This next one is kind of interesting. Google has added some additional handwriting fonts, and elementary teachers will be pleased by this. So, if you're teaching handwriting, having letters that are formed correctly in the right way with the right slant is very important. I do not teach elementary, but I have worked with elementary teachers, and I know that fonts are a big deal. And there's quite a few handwriting fonts, so hopefully you'll be able to find one that you're interested in. What you will need to do, because these are new, is you need to install them. So if you're in Google Docs, Google Slides, any of the Google products, go to your font menu, and then up at the top, click on More Fonts. Because Google has thousands of fonts, and to speed up Drive in loading, it doesn't load them all. It only loads the ones that you've selected. From the font menu, the Add Font menu, there's a new filter called Handwriting. And you can look through here and select whichever ones that you like. So when you pick it, it adds it to your account, and then it will be available through the font menu. So that was kind of cool. I'd love to know from elementary teachers if this is something that you'll utilize or be interested in. I played around with them a little bit, and they seem cool. But you guys are the experts. You have to let me know. All right, we also have an update to Google Vids. Google Vids was announced back at the Google I/O conference in, May? April, May. We don't know a lot about it other than it is an AI video creation tool. And some videos and links that have come out show the ability to take a presentation and then turn that into a video. So we're interested in seeing what this looks like, and Google is definitely positioning Google Vids as a tool that teachers can use to create instructional videos. Now, there are two kind of components to Google Vids. One is just the video creation aspect. So it does look like, kind of in a traditional way. You can select photos and stock images and text and put it together. Kind of like Adobe Spark, Adobe Express offers. But then there's also an AI component where you can essentially describe what you want, and then Google Vids will create it for you. So there are two different SKUs, paid SKUs, that you may potentially need. So Google has indicated that there will be a non-AI version of Google Vids, which you'll be able to utilize via the Education Plus version of Google Workspace. And then the AI enhancements will also require the Gemini for Education license. And that's a relatively new thing. One of my most recent podcast episodes with Vivek Chacha introduced Gemini for Education, integrates Gemini into things like Docs and Gmail and Google Meet, and then that would include Google Vids. Gemini for Education is an additional license, which is $20 per user per month. There's no minimum purchase. You don't have to license everybody. Essentially, if you got a video production department, somebody who's really into video, you could purchase that license and they could use the AI edition of Google Vids. Definitely steeper price-wise than some of the other versions. But I am pleased that there'll be a non-AI version, which will be a little more affordable for people who can't get the $20 a month for everybody. So interested in seeing what that looks like. Google is indicating that will come out later this year is what they've indicated. All right, let's move on to some Chrome OS updates. These are actually some updates that have been announced previously, but I'm going to recap them here. And there's a couple of new ones as well. So Google is announcing focus mode, which is interesting. Task and classroom notification, that one was previously announced, which I'm excited to see. And then some new accessibility features that are quite interesting. So including OCR, optical character recognition for PDFs and images. So in your files manager, if you download something that's not accessible, Google can make it accessible. This one was really interesting to me. AI alternate image tagging. Now, because I have a website and I develop my own website, anytime you upload an image, best practice is to include a text description of that image for individuals who are using screen readers. And so the screen reader will describe the image based on the text you put in. Unfortunately, there's lots of images on the web that were uploaded before that became common practice, or just websites that don't do it. And so Google is has created a new system where AI can actually look at an image, create that description so that, again, it's more accessible. So very fascinating. Excited to see what that might look like. And then another one, which I have seen demoed, which is quite spectacular, is face tracking. So the ability to actually control your computer with your face. So this will be accessibility feature, and essentially you just kind of move, you tip your head down and it moves your cursor down on the screen. You tip your head to the the left to the right, and your cursor will follow what you do. And you can set up different things like you blink once and that's a click, blink twice, that's a right click. So this is for individuals who don't have the ability to control their computer with their hands or via traditional methods. So I'm excited to see what that might look like. Chromebooks have a very robust set of accessibility tools, which in my opinion rivals Mac, PC, iPads. Google has worked very hard to make their devices accessible to everyone. All right, let's get into a couple of these. Here's a screenshot of the Google Classroom notifications. So those of you who are listening on your Chromebook, when you click on the time down on the bottom right corner, there's typically a calendar there as well. And soon, Google Classroom notifications will pop up there. So students do not have to open Classroom to see that they have an assignment that's due soon or late. It'll be integrated right into the operating system. This is also going to work with Google Task. So if you're utilizing the Task feature, which I've been doing more often, it'll be included there as well. Pretty cool. That'll be coming very soon for everybody. This is the focus mode. So in the system tray, again, click on the time in the bottom right. There'll be a new button called Focus, and you can set a period of time that you want to focus on a particular task. And it will block your notifications, turn on Do Not Disturb, and it will also play music, background music, focus sounds, if you wish. It's also integrated into YouTube Music if you're a subscriber. That feature will be disabled for schools. That'd be more for personal accounts. So I don't know, might be interesting to try. I know I definitely turn on the Do Not Disturb mode pretty frequently, especially when I'm doing webinars. So to see if maybe this will help me get more work done. We'll try it out. We're going to come back to Chromebooks here in just a minute when we talk about AI. Well, let's actually, we'll jump into it right now. So these are not new. I did talk about these. I wrote a blog post a couple weeks ago. I had the chance to attend a special event in New York City where Google announced these things and gave us some demos. These AI-powered features will be available for Chromebook Plus devices. Now, a Chromebook Plus device that was announced about a year ago. These are just more high-powered Chromebooks. What I'm using right now is technically a Plus device. These are devices for professionals. If you've ever tried to use a student Chromebook and become very frustrated, I totally understand. You need a better Chromebook. So the Chromebook Plus devices from Acer, HP, Lenovo, Samsung, they're beautiful devices, great build quality, backlit keyboard, nice big screens, high resolution, good webcams, and so on. They're also going to include some AI features, including this one here, which is Help Me Write. So Gemini will be built into essentially any text field. So if you're writing a blog post, highlight the title, and you can say, hey, Gemini, help me rephrase this, make it shorter, longer, funnier, and it'll assist you. So it's essentially using AI in the context of what you're doing, so you don't have to open ChatGPT or open Gemini to do so. We also have a Help Me Read feature, which will do an AI summary of a document, which really isn't new. I mean, honestly, Google search has that. I find it a bit annoying, to be frank. I just want my blue links back, not all the AI stuff. But what's interesting about the Help Me Read feature is not only will it summarize the article for you, but it will also let you interact with the article by asking questions. So it's essentially becoming a chatbot. So I can talk to the website that I'm reading, rephrase this, rewrite this article at a particular grade level. I don't understand this. Can you say it a different way? Really interested in trying out and seeing what this might look like. So these are some new features available for teacher Chromebooks. The last one is the Magic Editor for Google Photos. Now, I've been using this feature on my Android phone for quite a while, and it's pretty slick. You circle on an object, and you can move that object. It'll get rid of items in the background, unblur photos, all kinds of cool stuff. So this will be available on a Chromebook Plus device if you're utilizing the Google Photos app, the Android app. I've tried it, and yeah, it works great. Super cool. Let's stick with AI for a bit. Those were some AI features for Chromebooks that were announced at ISTE and coming soon. But there's more, and possibly one of the most interesting, most exciting announcements will be in this session. So we'll see. Want to give another shout out to Visor for sponsoring this episode. I appreciate Visor's continued support to this podcast. Allows me to continue producing it and offer it for free. Visor is a software tool that will help you manage your Chromebooks more seamlessly and effectively. It integrates the Google Admin Console and your student information system, gives you a single place to go to see how many Chromebooks are being actively used, how many are out for repair, how many times has that student broken that Chromebook, track things like that. It does integrate with the most popular learning management systems, Skyward, PowerSchool, as well as the Google Admin Console. So head over to vizor.cloud/CBC to learn more. You can schedule a no obligation demo and even get 20% off your first year. So that's, again, vizor.cloud/CBC. Let's get into some Gemini updates. Gemini for Education, which was recently announced. So here's a quick summary, and we'll get into the details. First, Google is announcing that they will be making Gemini available for teens. Anyone 13 years and older will have the option of utilizing Gemini. Now, obviously, Google, your Google admin, your IT department can turn that feature on and off based on your school's interest in giving students access to AI. Secondly, Google is piloting Gemini inside of Google Classroom to make lesson planning more streamlined. We talked about the Gemini features for Chromebook Plus devices, and Google is also inviting schools to pilot their new Learn LM tool, which we'll talk a little bit about. We don't know a whole lot about it. First off, Gemini for teens. This is going to be free for all Google Workspace customers. So that's pretty cool. Doesn't require one of the paid editions. Right now, the official license for Gemini requires that you are 18 or older. Google is lowering that to 13 and up. Obviously, every school can determine if and what they want to do. Google supposedly has built some safeguards into Gemini for teens. I'm interested in learning more about that, getting some more details. I have been testing some of the AI chatbots through Magic School AI and School AI. And this is going to be very different. My understanding, and again, still early, we don't have all the details, is that essentially students are just going to have access to Gemini with a few safeguards built into it. To my knowledge, there is no like teacher dashboard where you can monitor. There might be one at the admin level, but not something that teachers can do in class with their students, which is something that Magic School and School AI both offer. I can create a chat bot, send it to my students, and then actively monitor what they're searching for, what responses they're getting, and it'll even alert me if there's anything concerning that's going on. So it'll be interesting to see how schools respond to this. Love to know. Let me know in the chat what you think. Would you give a 13, 14, 15-year-old student access to Gemini? I mean, for me, I'm a little nervous. I mean, I still get some weird stuff from time to time. It really requires critical thinking and some careful attention to make sure that AI is not causing you more trouble than it's worth. This will be coming soon. So according to Google, in the coming months, this feature will be available. All right, let's also talk briefly about Gemini in Google Classroom. Now, again, we don't have a ton of details. Right now, if you're like me, I've always got ChatGPT or Gemini open, and then whatever else I'm working on, perhaps Google Classroom. This feature will allow you to actually query Gemini directly in Google Classroom. So I can ask Gemini for help in creating my assignment, for creating a document, or things like that. This is not currently available. They're going to be piloting this feature during the 24 school year, and you can sign up as a pilot school by visiting goo.gle/edu pilot program AI. I'll put it in the show notes for those of you who are listening, and you can check it out. Head over there and sign up. I think you have to be an IT admin to sign up. This isn't an individual teacher sign up. It's like signing up your whole district. So if you're interested in piloting Gemini inside of Classroom, fill out that form. I've already done it. Excited to get my hands on it and see what happens. All right, the last AI update that I have is what's called Learn LM. Now, Learn LM was briefly discussed during the Google I/O conference back in May. Now, I don't know all of the origin story here, but I believe Learn LM is a spin-off or a different version of Notebook LM, which I have used quite extensively and very successfully. It allows you to upload resources and then use AI to query those resources. Learn LM is an extension of that. There were some pretty impressive demos during the Google I/O conference where, again, you're curating resources and then asking the AI for help in learning those things. So create a quiz, chat with information, things like that. So I don't know. Google has put out this little infographic. It has lots of fancy buzzwords. We had to get our hands on it and see what it actually does. Inspire active learning, manage cognitive load, deepen metacognition, stimulate curiosity, adapt to the learner. These are some of the benefits of Learn LM. This is not yet available. They are looking for, again, beta testers. goo.gle/learnlminterest. I'll put it in the show notes if you are ready to beta test this new AI features. I've signed up, very interested in all these things. I just sign up for everything. It's one of the benefits of having your own domain. You can just sign up and see what happens. So my goal is always to get my hands on these things as early as possible, test them out, and then report back to you about what works, what needs improvement, and some suggestions for how you can use these tools in your classroom. Some are good, some not so much. Some need a little refinement. I know I've seen a few features lately. I'm like, yeah, that's not ready. Not quite yet. If you're interested in getting these updates on a more regular basis, not just during occasional podcast episodes, you can sign up for my monthly email newsletter, the Google EDU Update. Every month, I send out 10 important links, updates, and things, and free of charge. Head over to chrm.tech/update to add your name to the list. Keeping up with Google is a full-time job, and I am very privileged to have the ability to do that. And it is all that I do is try to keep up with, manage, monitor what Google is doing and how that is going to impact teaching and learning. So let me do the hard work for you so you don't have to read every blog post. I literally read every blog post they put out and figure out if there's anything in there that's worthy of bringing to your attention. Let me do the hard work for you. Sign up for the Google EDU Update, and I'll send anything you need to know over your way. All right, I think that takes care of all the updates for this edition of the podcast. Lots going on at ISTE. I am not at ISTE, but to those of you who are, have a wonderful time. Hope you enjoy the conference. Always lots of things to talk about and learn about. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button on YouTube or your favorite podcast player, and you'll know every time I get a new episode. Thanks for hanging out with me on this edition of the podcast. See you back here next time.